Hello and welcome. This is Notibot ENG. Good evening. I'm your anchor, Name. Tonight, we bring you the latest global news updates that will keep you informed about the rapidly changing world landscape. In a tense display of military strength, Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps, Irgc, has warned foreign powers against interfering with Iranian commercial vessels. Meanwhile, Russia's President Vladimir Putin suggests an end to the ongoing war in Ukraine. We'll take you through these developments and more, including a poll on Donald Trump's handling of the Iran conflict. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps has issued a stern warning to foreign nations over concerns of potential interference with Iranian commercial shipping routes. Iran has issued a warning to the U.S., stating that any attack on its oil tankers or commercial vessels will be met with violent attacks against American military assets in the region. The threat was made by the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, Navy, which claimed that it would target U.S. military bases and warships if provoked. The warning comes as tensions between Iran and the U.S. continue to escalate. Washington had proposed a diplomatic agreement aimed at ending the conflict, but has yet to receive a response from Tehran. U.S. President Donald Trump said on Saturday that he was waiting for Iran's response to the proposal. The agreement, which was put forward by U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, aims to address several key issues, including Iran's nuclear program and its regional activities. The proposed agreement is seen as a significant attempt at de-escalating tensions between the two countries, which have been marked by a series of military incidents in recent months. The IRGC Navy's warning suggests that Iran remains committed to defending itself against any perceived threats from the U.S. The situation has raised concerns among regional powers, who are wary of the potential for conflict between the two superpowers. Diplomats and analysts are now waiting to see how Tehran responds to the proposal, with many hoping that it will mark a turning point in the crisis. The fate of the agreement remains uncertain, but its prospects have been dealt a significant blow by Iran's warning. As tensions in Eastern Europe continue to simmer, President Putin has made a surprising statement that could potentially alter the course of Russia's ongoing conflict. Russian President Vladimir Putin has suggested that Russia's war on Ukraine may be coming to an end, in a surprise move that has raised cautious hopes of renewed diplomatic progress. This comes after Russia and Ukraine agreed to exchange 1,000 prisoners over the weekend, marking the start of a three-day ceasefire. In a statement to reporters on Saturday, Putin expressed his willingness to meet Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in a third country if a long-term peace deal is reached. This marks a significant shift in tone for Russia's position, as previously, such meetings had been ruled out due to concerns over security and legitimacy. The comments were made during Russia's most scaled-back Victory Day parade in years, with Putin praising Russian troops fighting in Ukraine as having a just cause against an aggressive force. He also blamed Western globalist elites for the war, claiming they had promised not to expand NATO eastward after the fall of the Berlin Wall. The development comes amidst heightened tensions between Russia and the West over the conflict in Ukraine. The exchange of prisoners is seen as a step towards de-escalation, while Putin's willingness to meet with Zelensky suggests that Moscow may be open to finding a peaceful solution. However, doubts remain about whether Russia will follow through on its promises. The situation remains volatile, and further developments are needed to determine the outcome of these talks. One thing is clear. If a long-term peace deal can be reached, it could mark a significant shift in the conflict and have far-reaching implications for international relations. As concerns about U.S. foreign policy continue to simmer, a new poll reveals growing public discontent with President Trump's handling of the Iran situation. A recent poll conducted by the Financial Times has found that a majority of American voters are dissatisfied with President Donald Trump's handling of the war involving Iran. The survey, which polled over 1,200 adults across the U.S., revealed that a staggering 58% disapprove of Trump's management of the conflict. This growing public unease is reflected in a series of recent polls showing declining support for Trump's foreign policy. The Financial Times poll also found that about 20% of Republican voters expressed dissatisfaction with Trump's handling of the war, highlighting a significant rift within his own party on this issue. This disapproval is not limited to Republicans, however, as more than half of Americans from both parties have voiced their discontent with Trump's approach. The conflict in question began in January when the U.S. launched airstrikes against Iranian military targets in response to a drone attack on an American oil facility in Iraq. The strike was widely condemned by Iran and its allies, who argue that it was an act of aggression that threatened regional stability. Why does this matter? The escalation of tensions between the U.S. and Iran has significant implications for global security, particularly in the Strait of Hormuz, one of the world's most critical oil choke points. Rising fuel prices are also a major concern for many Americans, who have already felt the pinch at the pump. As the situation in the region continues to unfold, it remains to be seen how Trump's administration will navigate this complex web of alliances and rivalries. The Financial Times poll serves as a stark reminder that public opinion is increasingly turning against Trump's approach. As tensions in the region continue to simmer, Iran is issuing a stern warning to the U.S. over potential attacks on its maritime assets. Iran has issued a warning to Bahrain after dozens of people were arrested on suspicion of links to Iran's Revolutionary Guard in the small Persian Gulf island. According to Bahraini authorities, investigations confirmed that those detained had contact with the Revolutionary Guard and collected funds, with the aim of sending them to Iran to support its operations. The arrests have raised concerns about human rights abuses in Bahrain, which has used the ongoing conflict between Iran and the U.S. as an excuse to crack down on dissent. Rights groups have long criticized Bahrain's monarchy for suppressing opposition and arresting activists. Meanwhile, tensions remain high after the U.S. struck 2 Iranian oil tankers last week, sparking fears of a new escalation. The U.S. military said the tankers were trying to breach its blockade of Iran's ports, but Iranian state TV reported that it was an act of aggression. The incident has cast doubt on the month-old ceasefire that the U.S. insists is still in effect. The crisis has drawn in other global powers, with Russian President Vladimir Putin stating that Moscow's proposal to take enriched uranium from Iran remains on the table. The U.S. has proposed a deal to end the war, reopen the Strait of Hormuz to shipping, and roll back Tehran's disputed nuclear program. Washington awaits Iran's response to its latest offer. The situation is fragile, with both sides seeming determined to avoid a major escalation. However, the risk of a new conflict remains high, and the international community watches nervously as tensions continue to simmer in the region. Following a surge in tensions between Iran and the U.S., the Middle East remains on high alert as a potential war escalates. Iran has issued a warning that it would launch a heavy assault on U.S. assets in the Middle East if there are further attacks on ships. This comes as tensions between the U.S. and Iran continue to escalate, with both sides engaging in hostilities despite ongoing ceasefire talks. President Donald Trump said he expects to hear from the Iranians soon about a potential ceasefire agreement, but warned that Washington is waiting for Tehran's response. "I'm getting a letter supposedly tonight," Trump told reporters. "So we'll see how that goes." The UK has also taken steps to increase its military presence in the region, redeploying the warship HMS Dragon to the Middle East ahead of a possible international mission to safeguard shipping in the Strait of Hormuz. The ship will be part of a proposed UK and French-led defensive mission. Meanwhile, U.S. forces have struck 2 Iranian-flagged oil tankers, accusing them of breaking the American blockade. Iran has denied the accusations and accused the U.S. of violating the ongoing ceasefire. Iran's foreign minister, Abbas Araghchi, has also criticized the U.S. for consistently opting for a reckless military adventure every time a diplomatic solution is on the table. The situation in Lebanon has also been affected by the tensions between Israel and Iran. A series of airstrikes in southern Lebanon killed at least 13 people, including a man, while Israeli drone strikes on vehicles just south of Beirut killed 4 people. The conflict in the region is having far-reaching consequences, with many countries watching anxiously to see how it will unfold. That's all for today's news recap. Thank you for watching. If you want to stay up to date on the latest global news, be sure to subscribe to our channel and follow us on social media. We'll keep you informed as events unfold. Until next time, goodbye.